Hi everyone! Welcome back to Woo Can Cook. My name is Wesley, and this is a show where we are slowly cooking our way through all of the food from my childhood. Today we're adding to our Bay Area restaurant hack series with a request from the Oakland subreddit for the spicy sauce noodles from Good to Eat Dumplings in Oakland, California. It just so happens that I live around the corner from this spot and have now eaten these noodles many times at this point, so I'm hoping I can do it some justice since it's one of my favorite new additions to the Oakland restaurant scene. As far as I can tell, Good to Eat's spicy sauce noodle dish is essentially a simplified, pantry-friendly version of a sesame paste noodle dish called Dan Dan Mian. Now, a Dan Dan Mian is a very popular Szechuan noodle dish here in the States, and we actually did a peanut sauce version a few months back on the channel already. What makes Good to Eat's version so unique, though, is that it does not contain any meat whatsoever. In lieu of the more traditional ground pork, their version instead features crispy fried shallots with a fresh green onion finish. This makes for a super minimalist, pantry-friendly yet tasty and hearty dish that's really great to throw together for a quick meal. So, let's get into it. Okay, so to kick things off, I'll start by mentioning that there are very few ingredients involved in this dish, which puts all of the more emphasis on the quality and preparation of each ingredient that we use. This means that we're gonna get pretty specific with our prep work here. I'm starting off with our ever-present 4 cloves of crushed and minced garlic, followed by 1 tablespoon or about 1 inch's worth of finely minced ginger for our aromatic elements. Then for our shallots, my favorite part about this element is that the fried shallots have a wide array of shapes and sizes, which gives the dish a bit of variety in each bite. So I'm starting off by large dicing 2 small shallots here first, then likewise doing a simple slice for my second set of shallots. This is going to give us some fun odd bits and pieces of shallot in each bite. Then moving on to our green onions, we're going to be using all of these as our garnish today, including the whites, which means that they need to be sliced razor thin in order to avoid those whites from becoming overpowering in their raw form. So I'm slicing these up on a very large bias using a back slice as thinly as I can possibly manage, then setting them aside so we can get going on our sauce. Okay, so to start things off, into my mixing bowl first is going to be 2 tablespoons of sesame paste to create some thickness in our sauce base. If you have better luck finding it, you can also use tahini at this point, or if you want to go very American, you can use plain old peanut butter too. We're breaking this down in a 1/4 cup of stock to make sure this stuff doesn't clump up, then adding 4 tablespoons of soy sauce for a bit of umami, followed by 2 tablespoons each of rice vinegar and Shaoxing wine for some brightness, a single tablespoon of brown sugar for some sweetness, and then the crown jewel of it all, 2 tablespoons of spicy chili crisp or lao gan ma. This is going to be the source of that really pervasive yet subtle heat that is the namesake of this dish. Then I'm rounding this off by grounding up some Szechuan peppercorn and passing it through a fine mesh sieve in our sauce. The sieve is optional at this point. I know I don't mind having those large bits of peppercorn floating around myself, but if you want to be perfectly accurate to Good to Eat's version, go the extra mile and sort out some of those larger bits and pieces. Over on the stove, I have my wok heating up as hot as possible, then I'm adding 4 tablespoons of peanut oil and, as always, long yao for your non-stick surface. Then I'm adding my shallots to the wok here, followed by a pinch of kosher salt to get these bad boys to start sweating out some of their moisture. We're cooking these down for 3 to 5 minutes, try not to burn yours like I just did, and then we're pulling them out of the wok, giving it a wipe down, and heating my fryer oil up to 350 degrees F. Next, I'm adding my shallots to another sieve and deep frying these for no more than 5 seconds. Yes, that's right, 5 seconds max. It's gonna look underdone, but remember to account for the carryover cook that's going to happen at this point too. Don't be an idiot like me, because these looked perfect coming out of the fryer, then ended up overdone when they dried, because I forgot to account for the carryover cook. Next up, back over on the stove, we're moving on to our noodles. Now at this point, all of the Italian chefs can leave the room, because we're about to commit a few cardinal sins of pasta making here. We've got a rolling pot of unseasoned boiling water, where I'm dropping my Shanghainese noodles in for 2 minutes or about 30 seconds shy of the package instructions. Then I'm removing and immediately blanching them in ice water. This stuff is super delicate, so you'll want to halt that cooking process right after you pull it out, or it will definitely overcook. Then I'm moving back over to my wok here, giving it a wipe down, adding 4 more tablespoons of peanut oil, and giving it 1 more long yao. Next, I'm blooming my garlic and ginger here first for about 15 seconds until fragrant, followed by my noodles, sauce, and a 1/4 cup of water. I'm tossing to combine until I have my ideal sauce thickness, then removing from heat, and finally topping off with my shallots, sesame seed, and green onions to finish. This Dan Dan Mian turned out amazing and is one of my new favorite pantry dishes to throw together at the last minute. Shortly after making this, I also discovered that you can buy fried shallots at the market, so if you do that, you can totally make this dish in less than 10 minutes. It's rich and hearty from the creamy sesame paste with a subtle but pervasive heat from the lieu and Schuan peppercorn. Now, I will admit that I was worried that the sparseness of the dish would leave me wanting more, but I actually thought that the simplicity of it all really allows for room to appreciate each individual element in a way that sometimes gets lost in some of the more ingredient-heavy dishes. Okay, so that's it everyone. I hope you enjoyed this and I hope you give this one a shot. If you happen to live in the area, definitely drop in on Good to Eat Dumplings in Jack London Square. You'll find it tucked away inside of Original Pattern Brewing as a pop-up kitchen, so you can grab a pint to drink while you eat too. Also, if you haven't yet, definitely check out some of the other Bay Area restaurant hacks that we've done in this series. There are a lot of them now. I'll be cooking this one live this coming Monday at 6:30 p.m. PST right here on YouTube, so be sure to subscribe for that as well. As always, like, comment, share, press some buttons, and I'll see you soon.